What does it mean to be of the Rakdos? Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles, and welcome to a flavor exploration, the first of its kind. What we're going to do here, and hold on, let's, couple of different possibilities for Carly to pick for the thumbnail there, insert those. Anyways, what we're going to be doing here is we are going to use a pre-release kit to determine what it feels like to be of a particular guild. Okay, so the idea is just opening one of these as a brand new player. How does it make you feel? What kind of an impression does it give you? Does it actively and effectively transmit the concept of the guild? So here's how it's going to work. We're going to crack into the pre-release kit. We're going to look at everything, the packaging. The only thing we're not going to use are the 5 regular packs of Ravnica Allegiance that are in here. We're going to open the special Ravnica pack that's specifically designed to be a Rakdos pack, and we're going to look at the flavor inserts and even the outer packaging as well to determine how well this transmits the concept of Rakdos and how it would make a beginner feel about Rakdos. All right, here comes the fun part where we, you know what, I don't know if I should have opened the plastic ahead of time and whatever. This is the first episode of this series, so gonna work the kinks out. There we go. Let's slide off this. So, starting out by taking a look at the package, we have a creature here who looks kind of like a jester, kind of like a clown with the whole clown makeup. The red and black transmits, like this entire thing transmits the red and black concept, so you very much get that. Masters of Fire, some kind of fire whip going on. This definitely has a court jesterish kind of feel to it. On the back, we see Carnage, Revelry, and Freedom. So, how much of that is transmitted here? Well, I mean, you can see that he has a big flame whip going on. You can see the chains that are listed around him. Now that, honestly, gives the idea of Carnage. The Revelry is transmitted through the fact that he kind of looks like a jester. He's got the makeup on and the smile. And the Freedom, I mean, he's wandering around all chained up with a big flaming whip. It seems like he might have a fair level of freedom. When we take a look at the actual box itself, you can see you got the Rakdos symbol right up here. The whole box has got the red-black feel. Again, you've got Carnage, Revelry, and Freedom, the 3 keywords. On the back, it's just a big old Rakdos symbol. So, let us journey inside and see what we've got. Now, I'm going to take out the regular packs of Ravnica Allegiance because those are going to serve another purpose. So let's take a look at the other contents that we get inside of this box here. All right. So, we've got the Rakdos die. Now, this is obviously just red-black with the Rakdos symbol, so it's nothing particularly too special there. This really doesn't transmit any flavor on its own. Then we have an insert token with a pre-release code. I'm going to hand that out in my Discord to someone. We've got a Rakdos insert, which again doesn't transmit much. It's just got the Rakdos concept. Then we've got... let's turn that upside down to keep that a secret for now. Let's take a look at the insert. Okay, so we have an insert that says, "No price is too high for freedom, not even death. Yes, there are fools who choose to squeeze their lives into the oppressive constraints of civilization, neglecting their true desires in favor of a long, safe, boring life. But you are different. You're ready to cast off your shackles and bathe in the blood and revelry with us. Build masterpieces of spikes and embers. Compose a symphony of exquisite chaos. And feel the thrill of indulging your darkest desires. We are the grandest spectacle in Ravnica, an endless twisted carnival of pain and pleasure. We live with hedonistic abandon, embracing every risk to our lives and sanity, and no petty laws will curb our freedom. We are the cult of Rakdos." So far, we can see, take a look at this. Take a look at this big top sort of carnival tent circus-like, but also the maw of hell. It's a hell circus, basically. On top of that, you can see that all of the writing is done in this like scratched out sort of disorderly way. Honestly, this does a really good job of transmitting the concept of the Rakdos, the Carnage, the Revelry, and the Freedom, even if it costs you your very life. Not too bad, honestly. That's a pretty good way of transmitting the flavor. And on this side, it is just explanation on how to build a pre-release deck. So that is not really going to come in to our flavor exploration. Now, let us see how well we can get this set up with the pack here. Put it on top of the Rakdos box for some nice looks. So I think we'll go, you may have seen the rare if you're paying close attention, but we'll build up to the rare at the end. We'll go backwards through the booster pack here. So this is a Rakdos aligned booster pack specifically designed for the pre-release. Starting out, we have the Rakdos Guildgate. So with this, you get your Guildgate land. The flavor says, slip in the back if you don't want to be recognized. Don't worry, we'll make sure you're never found. And you can see that we've got like a torturous sort of flame-filled gate. This looks like a foreboding place where, yeah, you could go through this and never be found again. This definitely has some nice Rakdos flavor from it. I like the fact that up here, you've got kind of light. You're walking away from the light into the Inferno, the Pleasure Palace. It might be fun. It might be dangerous. Who knows? But it's definitely going to be Rakdos. Then we've got a Thirsting Shade. So 1 black for a 1/1 lifelink that gets +1/+1 for every black and 2 colors you spend. Your life is a blinding light, your breath a gale, your pulse a deafening drum. Be still, be still. And this is from Dahlia True, Herbitov Lament. Okay, well, in terms of tying in specifically to the Rakdos, this card actually just feels like a regular black card. It doesn't actually transmit that much conceptually about Rakdos. Then we've got Act of Treason. Now this one is a very Rakdos card. 1 red, 2 colorless, gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature, it gains haste until end of turn. Seen through Rakdos' eyes, a cruel betrayal is a hilarious stunt. So this is basically making someone turn on their loved one, and loved one, or at least a trusted comrade, depending on how you look at it. In this case, it's one soldier getting ready to strike down another. You have the blazing mask of Rakdos that's overtaken this person in a fit of rage, and they are about to basically, it looks like they're going to decapitate the soldier in front of them. So to the Rakdos, it's hilarious to cause this kind of mayhem. It's all just part of the show. That definitely goes in the Rakdos flavor pile. Well done. Actually, on another note, I really like the way that the art is dark and muted, and it's all kind of like, all right, like light blues and dark and shadowed, except for the bright, flaming face. That's pretty well done. Then we've got Rafter Demon. This is another one that's definitely going to have some Rakdos flavor to it. 1 red, 1 black, 2 colors. It's got the Spectacle keyword, which is Rakdos' flavor ability. And so you can pay 5 mana instead of the 4 mana it normally costs. And if you do, when it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. So if you're willing to pay more to make it more of a spectacle, this demon will ravage the minds of your opponents. And he's a Rafter Demon. So basically, if you look back at the circus tent that we looked at, he would be up at the top and just kind of leap down out of nowhere and grab somebody by the head and just ravage their brain demonically. That has a very Rakdos feel. It's all part of the show, folks. Then we have Noxious Grudian. This is 1 black, 2 colors for a 2/2 death touch. Behold the Grudian, Ichor Slurper, Oozing Fiend, foulest wonder underground, grandest vermin of them all, Zalin the Gutter Bard. Okay, so the actual creature itself doesn't really have a Rakdos feel. The only way this actually ties into Rakdos is the flavor text, which seems like it's written by a Rakdos individual. Honestly, the name Zalin the Gutter Bard, a Gutter Bard definitely has a very Rakdos feel to it. So it does contribute to the Rakdos flavor overall, which means it gets to go in the flavor pile. So far, more of these cards than not are helping to build the world and give a concept of what the Rakdos are about. Then we've got Spike Wheel Acrobat. 1 red and 3 colorless for a 5/2. It has Spectacle for a red and 2 colorless, so if you manage to damage your opponent, you get to put it out for less. Every street's a stage, and every screaming bystander is an audience. Now, see, this is a lot of fun. I like the artwork. You can see there's a lot of danger and menace. This woman is actually riding on a gigantic spiked wheel that's on fire, and she also has a gigantic, it's not really a staff, it's something akin to that, but each end is actually on fire as well, flaming out. That's pretty intense and really dangerous feeling. And the flavor text gives it a bit of the Rakdos whimsy, where danger isn't really a thing for them. Every street's a stage and every screaming bystander's an audience. I really like the flavor of this. This really helps to transmit that uncaring concept of Rakdos. As long as it's a good show, who cares if we get hurt? Followed up by an Undercity Scavenger. 1 black and 3 colorless. When Undercity Scavenger enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, put 2+1/+1 counters on Undercity Scavenger, then scry for 2. The artwork shows what is somebody either eating thrown cast-off refuse or more likely, obviously, a corpse here. So this shows an ogre eating a corpse. The flavor text says, "We grow strong by feasting on failure." So yeah, this would be eating the weak who have lost. And that quote is attributed to Izani. Now, this doesn't actually add to the Rakdos flavor because this is a Golgari card. So this is not actually helping us in our flavor inquisition here. Let us move on. Then we've got Deface. 1 red, choose 1, destroy target artifact, destroy target creature with defender. Those are your choices. Leave no stone unturned. So this is obviously showing artwork where this either could represent a creature with defender or an artifact. They could just be destroying a regular stone statue, or this could be a gargoyle that can only act on defense. And the fact that it's got its mouth open in a scream almost makes it feel like it is actually a gargoyle. I really like the fact that the artwork works for either of the destructive choices. That's really well done. Unfortunately, this isn't going to help us with our flavor exploration for Rakdos because the flavor text here says, "Leave no stone unturned, Rurik Thar." So this is actually the Gruul going crazy and smashing things. So that is not in our flavor category. Then we've got Consigned to the Pit. 1 black and 5 colorless. Sorcery. Destroy target creature. Consigned to the Pit deals 2 damage to that creature's controller. First, your whole life flashes before your eyes. Then you have considerable time to reflect on every regret as you plummet. So this one doesn't actually feel like it's aligned to any guild in particular. It looks like an Azorius soldier is being consigned to his doom right here, which is pretty cool flavorfully. It could definitely fall into the Rakdos. They could be casting somebody into a pit for entertainment. So I'm going to actually put that in the Rakdos flavor pile because it does fit into the Carnage aspect of Rakdos. Then we've got a Rakdos Roustabout. Well, you're clearly going to be Rakdos flavor. 1 red, 1 black, and 1 colorless for a 3/2 Ogre Warrior. Whenever Rakdos Roustabout becomes blocked, it deals 1 damage to the player or Planeswalker it's attacking. That one has a bright future. Perfect instincts for the rhythms of mayhem. Judith. All right. Well, that's some good flavor. The concept behind this ogre is that no matter what, you can't stop him. He's going to manage to inflict some damage on his target. You can get in his way, but with this gigantic flaming club that he has, it looks pretty intense. It's just a big old fire on a stick, and he's holding a skull out in front of him and crushing it down, as well as having these like chains and picks kind of like hanging off his body. He looks like one rough customer. He looks wild and uncivilized. Very cool. Very cool. Very Rakdos. Kind of got a bit of a Gruul vibe to him as well, but definitely more Rakdos than Gruul. Then we've got Spire Mangler. 1 black, 2 colorless for a 2/1 flyer with flash. When it enters the battlefield, target creature with flying you control gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Its mandibles can leave a rider in the clouds astride a headless griffin. All right, and you can see this thing is chasing after a dove. I really like this artwork, honestly. The idea of this gigantic insect flying after a dove, it's going to completely just obliterate it. The contrast of the purity of the dove with the darkness of this awful insect, and even the city looks dark, like it's happening at night. Like this dove stands no chance. Unfortunately, this doesn't really fit into the Rakdos flavor. This is like almost a mindless insect driven by instinct as opposed to anything to do with the Rakdos. So you go in the not Rakdos flavor pile. Then we've got Flames of the Raise Boar. All right, so this is 1 red and 5 colorless, and it's an instant. It deals 4 damage to target creature an opponent controls. Then it deals 2 damage to each other creature that player controls if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. And then it says, fire will cure a multitude of ills. Now, this card, honestly, while you could say that setting things on fire is Rakdos, it does have more of a Gruul feel. The fact that it has a boar, it's basically like a flaming boar. The fact that you have to have a creature with power 4 or greater, while it can work with Rakdos, it doesn't fit into the Rakdos flavor, unfortunately. I do like the bright flaming boar, though. I like the fact that you can actually see the aspect of the boar coming out of that warrior who's kind of shrouded in the back. He definitely has a Gruul feel with his ragged armor to him as well. Next up, we've got Macabre Mockery. This is 1 black, 1 red, and 2 colors for an instant. Put target creature card from an opponent's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It gets +2/+0 and gains haste until end of turn. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. The Rakdos put the fun in Funeral. This card is really, really Rakdos. Honestly, the idea of animating the dead like marionettes, like look, you've got these acrobats and things like that on spike wheels. This looks like a big festival that's going on. Seriously, it almost looks like a street performance right here. But they're using the corpses of their enemies. That's absolutely amazing. And the flavor text putting the fun into the funerals. Oh, it's so well done. Honestly, this really, really encapsulates Rakdos's preference for just put on a good show. It doesn't matter. Forget about anybody's sensibilities. Don't worry about that. We are the Rakdos. We will do some messed up stuff all in the name of fun and to entertain our demon lord. Very nicely done. Following it up with a Rakdos Locket. Okay, so I guess there's a locket in each one of these packs. 3 colorless artifact that taps for the Rakdos colors. You can pay 4 mana in any combination of red or black to just sacrifice it and draw 2 cards. The trinket will gain you admittance to some painfully exclusive gatherings. Ixava, Blood Witch. I like that. Painfully exclusive. And look at this. This locket looks like it would hurt you too, in all honesty. It looks like the fire inside of it would be hot to the touch, and you can actually see black smoke rising off of it. It's got spikes all along the top as well. This seems like the kind of locket that would hurt you. It would burn against your skin. It looks like you could actually use it to brand Rakdos's insignia into people. So that's definitely got some nice Rakdos flavor to it. And finally, we've got the rare. We've got a foil Bedevil. Now that's very Rakdos. Look at that. That looks gorgeous in foil. 2 black and a red. Man, I gotta say, Seb McKinnon is so talented as an artist, I should say. Destroy target artifact, creature, or planeswalker. It's easy to get taken in by the spectacle, to enjoy a bit of naughty amusement, but make no mistake, the cult of Rakdos is a danger. And that's Tajik. Tajik's part of the Boros Legion. He's warning against the dangers. I love the contrast here where you see all of these devils coming in with all these little imps with their little devil masks coming in with their spears to take out somebody who, they give it, this woman has almost kind of a pure look to her. They've got like light behind her, her hair flowing all up like that, like her golden blonde hair. It makes it feel like a bunch of devils are banding together to destroy an angel. And that is some really, really nice Rakdos flavor. So that ends the pack opening. Gonna hand it back over to me to wrap it all up. I have to say, the Rakdos did a pretty good job of transmitting their flavor. I mean, the package starts out by telling you they're all about Carnage and Revelry. The insert, with the way that it's written with all the scratched up lettering and the big top up at the front, it all gives that feeling of Rakdos. There's a bunch of excellent cards that give you the whole idea that Rakdos really don't care about their own well-being, and they don't care about what other people cherish. They have no problem making people turn against their own allies. They have no problem dragging people's corpses out and making a spectacle of them. There are all kinds of things that come together to really transmit the concept of Rakdos effectively with just the use of a pre-release kit. So overall, I'm actually impressed. I think that they did a pretty good job with this. And speaking of pretty good jobs, let's check in with the 6th color of magic.
Hey, it's your boy Seth Massacre, aka Sloth Massacre, coming at you from over the road. Together, we are the 6th color of magic.
And the final thing to do, my friends, is to roll the golden scroll. The people who have my back on Patreon or through channel memberships, thanks for valuing my channel so much. I appreciate it, guys. You guys are awesome. And to all of you, I say, I will see you guys tomorrow.